Good morning, baseball fans. Welcome back to the channel. This video, we're going to be going over September 16th MLB games. We have 8 of them. And while a lot of teams are out of action, there are still a lot of teams in that wild card playoff race that were in action. So we want to jump in there. Take a look at that. Before we do go down there, like, subscribe, join the community. Football season in full swing. Baseball playoffs coming up. And we have hockey coming up as well, which are all the 3 cornerstones of this channel. So if you like the content, make sure you smash that like button, join the community, etc., etc. Reds 1, Pirates 0, and the Reds pick up a much-needed win to stay in the playoff race. And the National League wildcard has really heated up over the past week or so. It used to be a 2-team race between the Padres and the Reds, and now it's kind of turned into a 4-team race with the Phillies and the Cardinals now holding that second spot. Mahle has a good outing here, and this game is pretty much no offense. 5 hits for the Reds, 6 for the Pirates, who were shut out. And the only run scored is to Shields on a pinch run situation. Mahle goes 6, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks, and Overton 3, 0 earned runs, 3 Ks. For a bullpen somewhat situation for the Pirates, Overton only going 42 pitches before being yanked. Mahle picks up his 12th win. And we'll get to the standings, look at that quickly at the end, because we only have 8 games today. 7 for the Athletics, Royals 2. So the Athletics, even though they've fallen a couple games back, they are still in it. They're about 3 games back now, finding a big win. I think that's back-to-back wins now for them. Josh Harrison leading the way for the team with a 4-hit night, hitting in 2. And they take a 4-2 lead after 3 after being down 2-0. Salvador Perez hits a 2-run shot. His 45th of the season. The guy has just been absolutely insane this season, Salvador Perez. Got to give him so much credit. Possibly MVP level for Kansas City had it been a little bit better of a team. But the guy's been a monster. On the other side, we have no home runs. The A's just generated that 4-run third inning and then put up 3 more insurance runs in the 9th. Didn't matter too not much. Blackburn goes 5, 2 runs, 3 Ks, and Lynch goes only 2, 1 run, 1 K. Another bullpen style game that's becoming more and more normal around the MLB. Angels 9, White Sox 3. Game doesn't matter too much. Angels playing for show. Really, Verfigo hits his 5th. Rojas his 5th as well. 2nd and 4th inning. 5 runs getting piled on in the 4th, and the Angels were out 9-0 about halfway through. White Sox put up a couple of runs during the late innings, but again, doesn't matter. We're seeing Ronaldo Lopez out there, 4 innings, pitched 6 earned runs, 7 Ks. Between him and Keuchel, we know come playoff time, those 2 guys probably aren't going to see the mound in a starting position, so don't wait too much into how the White Sox are performing down the stretch. Alex Cobb looking good. After quite a bit of time off, picks up his 8th win, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 5 Ks for him, as the Angels just win a game that doesn't mean a whole lot. Padres 7, Giants 4. So Giants are now, 1 game ahead of the Dodgers, which, wow, hard to believe that a team that by the end of the season that's going to have over 100 wins could be in a 1-game playoff against the team they just lost to. Padres picking up 2 wins now against them. They got out to a 4-0 lead about halfway through, and the Giants were putting up 1 run here, 1 run there over the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. 3 runs in the 8th for the Padres generate pretty much the win. Austin Nola, 3-hit night. We see Tatis Jr. get things started for them, hitting his 39th home run of the season. 8th run solo shot for Longoria, but it doesn't matter. Gosman goes 5, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, giving up that 1 home run. We see Johnson lead it off, and then Krismack come in for the 4-inning relief, 62 pitches for him. Another kind of style, bullpen style, lots of bullpen. We're starting to see that be more and more consistent. Giants, they lose. Tough game here. With the Dodgers out of action, they still maintain lead in the division. Orioles 3 and Yankees 2 coming into today. All the teams in the American League were tied for those last 2 wild card spots. Jays, Yankees, and Bo Sox. But Yankees losing here makes them fall half a game back. Yankees were out 2-0 early when Gallo hits a solo shot in the second, added by another generated run. When Sanchez scores off a hit and gets hit home. Orioles battle back though. Mountcastle hits his 29th to bring them within one, and then the bottom of the 9th, they play spoiler and score another run. And then in the 10th, Austin Hayes hits in the spoiler run. Ellis goes 4.2, 2 runs, 3 Ks. Montgomery, good outing for him, 5.2, 1 run, 12 Ks. But it's Holmes in that 9th inning who blows the save, and then Peralta is going to get charged with the loss in the 10th. It's a bad loss for the Yankees. They've been really struggling over the past month, couple weeks, really, ever since they had that really hot streak that's been coming back down to earth. And the Orioles have had a big part of destroying their playoff hopes. Phillies 17, Cubs 8, and after being down 7-0 after a 7-run inning for the Cubs in that 3rd inning, Matt Duffy hits his 5th, and that one, a 3-run shot, helps contribute to that. We see the Phillies put up a 7 spot of their own to tie it back up 7-7 in the 4th. What a game. 6th inning, Phillies add 3 more and 5 more in the 7th, and after that, they don't really look back. 7th inning, 3-run shot for Harper, his 33rd of the season. The guy's been big part of keeping these Phillies around. A 3-hit, 4 RBI night for him. We also have Contreras in his 19th for the Cubs. Hendricks goes 3.2, can't get out of that 4th inning, giving up 7 earned runs. 4.81 ERA this season. Hendricks having one of the roughest seasons he's had in a long time. Bedrosian, 1.1, giving up 0 earned runs, and then they bring in Moore, who starts that 7-run inning for the Cubs. He actually can't get that last out of the 2nd inning. They bring in Hammer to bring the hammer in, but he also gets charged with 5. What an interesting game. Phillies really piling on the offense after they fall behind 7-0. It could be a turning point in their season. They're still a little bit out of the playoff race. Of course, Rays 5, Tigers 2. Rays just pretty much playing for a little bit of a cushion in the division. No one really suspects that they can fall out of it. But it's good practice getting ready for the postseason because they're going to likely play the winner of the wild card game, which could potentially be the best team in the divisional round other than themselves. Rays out 2-0 in the 1st inning. Diaz hits a solo shot, and we see Zunino add a 2-run shot in the 6th, which gives them a 5-1 lead. At the time, the only runs coming for the Tigers, Goodrum his 7th home run, and Calderario his 15th, both solo shots, last one coming in the 9th. Pretty much doesn't mean much. Alexander 5.2, 3 runs, 4 Ks, giving up that one solo shot. And we see another bullpen start. Head goes out there and leads things off, and then we have a 4-inning relief from ends. Just strange how things are going these days in baseball. But the Rays pick up a win. Last game of the night, Astros 12, Rangers 1. Astros just getting going. Their offense has really piled it on the Rangers these past couple of nights. It's been nice for them to get hot. This is a good time to get hot. Correa, 3-run shot in his 23rd of the season, and then McCormick in the 8th inning is part of the fun too. He hits a 2-run shot for a combined 5 runs from those home runs, and then there's a lot more involved there. A bunch of guys on the Stros with multi-hit nights: Bregman, Gurriel, Tucker, Siri, Correa, all part of it. And then the Rangers just generate their 1 run with a couple of hits. Otto goes 3.17 earned runs, giving up 3 Ks. And Garcia 5.1 earned 2 Ks for the win for the Stros. And the Stros are starting to get into playoff form. Let's just jump into the playoff race here. As we know, in the American League side, these 3 division leaders pretty much got it locked up. I don't even know how one of these teams are going to lose. So just looking at the wild card, we have the Jays and Boston both off last night. They do have the spots on hold after the Yankees lose and are now half a game out, but the Yankees do have a game in hand, it looks like, on the Jays. They lost in that situation. Boston's played 1 more game than the Yankees, in which they won, so there's still some games to be shuffled around. in that situation. A's do win and are pull half a game up, and they are 3 games out, which again is in striking distance. If they go on a 10-game winning streak, they'll definitely scoop one of those spots, right? At the very least, but that's what it's probably going to take. We got about 2 weeks left in the season, maybe 2.5, 3, just early weeks of October. And then we have Seattle on the outside now, starting to look in. The run differential starting to catch up with them. They have a lot of teams to hop if they're going to get a playoff spot. 4 games out. Looking over at the National League, we have San Francisco. We know Dodgers are only 1 game away, really, from them. 1 win for them will put them in 95 wins. And if San Francisco loses, they'll be back tied. So that's always interesting. Milwaukee, we have them in the Central, and they're probably super close to clinching that spot, and they got the division pretty much on lock. And we have the Braves, who have struggled a little bit the past week, losing 2 in a row now, with the Phillies winning 2 in a row. So the Phillies are pretty much back in it. I think 3 games out from the division and 2.5 out from the wild card, which is being held by the Cardinals. We have this 1 spot. As you can see, Dodgers 17 games up on that, which means if they flip San Francisco, same kind of story. So it's going to go to either Cardinals, Padres, Cincinnati, or Philadelphia. It's turned into quite a race. It used to be a 2-team race, but the Cardinals has made it interesting by taking that spot, and Phillies are sticking around for sure. So there you have it. 8 games in the books. We looked at the division playoff rates. Matt has shown up to say what's up, and nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for showing up. We're just wrapping things up here, so sorry you're a little bit late for that. Otherwise, football's coming up this weekend, of course. Week 2, big series over the weekend. Every team's going to be in action tonight, getting ready for the playoff race, and we're 2 weeks away. I think this weekend we're going to do a bigger breakdown of the schedules of what the wild card's going to look like, who I'm giving the tip of the cap to with the easier schedule, and I guess stuff like that. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys for that next video. Peace out.